On the evening of August 22, 1999, the skies above Hong Kong were a battleground as Typhoon Sam unleashed its fury. The turbulent weather posed an extraordinary challenge to any aircraft daring to approach one of the most demanding airports in the world. Amidst the chaos, China Airlines Flight 642, a McDonnell Douglas MD-11 carrying 315 passengers and crew, descended towards Hong Kong International Airport, also known as Check Lap. The flight, en route from Bangkok, Thailand, was tasked with executing a landing in conditions that tested even the most seasoned pilots. As winds howled and rain lashed down, the crew faced the daunting task of navigating through violent crosswinds and limited visibility. Typhoon Sam's unrelenting power transformed what should have been a routine landing into a life-or-death situation, setting the stage for one of the most dramatic aviation incidents of the decade. What unfolded in the moments that followed would become a defining moment in aviation history. This is the story of Flight 642, a tale of extraordinary survival, engineering challenges, and the relentless forces of nature. China Airlines Flight 642 was part of a regularly scheduled service connecting the vibrant city of Bangkok, Thailand, to Hong Kong, one of the busiest and most important international aviation hubs in the world. Hong Kong's airport, renowned for its state-of-the-art facilities and pivotal location in global travel, was the final destination for hundreds of flights daily, including Flight 642. The aircraft assigned for the journey on that fateful day was the McDonnell Douglas MD-11, a wide-body, long-range jet that had become a staple for many airlines. Known for its versatility, the MD-11 was designed to handle both passenger and cargo operations efficiently. As an advanced successor to the DC-10, it boasted numerous improvements including upgraded engines, better fuel efficiency, and sophisticated avionics, which made it a technologically impressive aircraft for its time. Despite its many innovations, the MD-11 was not without its flaws. It had developed a reputation for being challenging to operate during landings, particularly in adverse weather. The aircraft's design, with a smaller tailplane compared to its predecessor, could make it less forgiving during unstable approaches or sudden wind shifts. This characteristic earned it a reputation for instability, especially in high-stress conditions such as strong crosswinds or turbulent weather. These issues made the MD-11 a plane that demanded precision and expertise from its pilots, qualities that would be put to the ultimate test on Flight 642's approach to Hong Kong on August 22, 1999. The journey began uneventfully. For most of the flight, passengers experienced smooth cruising at high altitude, safely above the storm. Yet, as the aircraft neared its destination, conditions deteriorated rapidly. The cockpit crew now faced a critical challenge, landing a heavy aircraft in the midst of a powerful typhoon. Check Lap Kok Airport, built on reclaimed land, offered little margin for error during such adverse weather. As China Airlines Flight 642 closed in on Hong Kong International Airport, the fierce grip of Typhoon Sam left no doubt about the formidable challenge ahead. The turbulence was relentless, tossing the aircraft unpredictably and causing passengers and crew alike to grip their seats with growing apprehension. In the cabin, oxygen masks dangled as the plane jolted through the storm, while outside, the once familiar sight of the city below was obscured by a swirling tempest of rain and wind. The mood inside the cockpit was tense but focused as the pilots methodically worked through their checklists, acutely aware of the precarious conditions awaiting them. On the ground, air traffic controllers monitored the unfolding situation with a mix of caution and concern. Despite the cutting-edge facilities at Hong Kong International Airport, the typhoon presented risks that no equipment could fully mitigate. Known for its position between mountainous terrain and open water, the airport was already notorious for strong, unpredictable crosswinds. Typhoon Sam's gale-force winds amplified these challenges tenfold, creating a volatile environment for any pilot attempting to land. The pilots of Flight 642 were preparing for a crosswind landing, one of the most technically demanding maneuvers in aviation. This technique involves aligning the aircraft at an angle to counteract the lateral forces of crosswinds, requiring both precision and intuition to execute correctly. Even in optimal conditions, this maneuver carries a level of risk, as the slightest miscalculation can result in the plane veering off course. But under the extreme conditions of a typhoon, the margin for error all but disappears, leaving even seasoned pilots with limited options. At 6:43 p.m., after painstaking coordination with air traffic control, Flight 642 was cleared for its final approach. The pilots tightened their grip on the controls, their training and experience now their greatest assets against the storm. The MD-11, known for its instability during landings, was particularly challenging to handle in such severe weather. The aircraft was battered by violent gusts that caused it to rock and sway, and every adjustment the pilots made was countered by the typhoon's relentless power. As the plane descended closer to the runway, the stakes heightened. The gusting winds became even more erratic, forcing constant corrections to maintain a stable approach. Then, just as the pilots prepared for the critical moments before touchdown, a sudden, powerful crosswind swept through the runway area. This unexpected gust dramatically altered the aircraft's trajectory, throwing it off course and creating an almost impossible scenario for the crew. With the ground rushing up to meet them, the pilots were left with mere seconds to react, battling not just the storm, but also the inherent instability of their aircraft in an attempt to avert disaster. When the McDonnell Douglas MD-11 finally touched down on the runway, disaster unfolded in an instant. The right wing struck the ground with a sickening force, sending sparks flying as the landing gear gave way under the immense pressure. The aircraft, unable to stabilize, veered uncontrollably and was violently hurled into a catastrophic cartwheel. In seconds, the airframe began to disintegrate, pieces of the fuselage tearing apart as the wreckage skidded across the runway. The impact ruptured fuel tanks, igniting an enormous fireball that lit up the stormy night sky. Inside the cabin, chaos erupted. Passengers were thrown violently as the plane broke apart, the deafening sounds of metal twisting and flames roaring, drowning out cries of panic. Thick smoke quickly filled the air, choking visibility and plunging the cabin into darkness. Flames crept into the fractured fuselage, consuming seats and debris as passengers scrambled desperately to escape. For those trapped inside, it was a scene of unimaginable fear and desperation, with survival seeming almost impossible. Outside, emergency vehicles raced toward the burning wreckage, their flashing lights cutting through the heavy rain and smoke. Fire crews and first responders braced themselves for the worst, certain that the scale of destruction meant few, if any, could have survived. From the ground, the scene was horrifying. Flames towering into the night sky, engulfing what remained of the plane. Yet, as firefighters battled the blaze and rescuers began to comb through the debris, an astonishing reality began to emerge. Against all odds, there were survivors. Amid the wreckage and devastation, people were being pulled from the remains of the aircraft, injured, frightened, but alive. What had appeared to be an unsurvivable crash was revealing itself as a testament to human resilience and the quick actions of first responders. This moment, though born from tragedy, would come to symbolize the extraordinary capacity for survival in even the direst circumstances. Remarkably, of the 315 people on board, 312 survived. The swift response of emergency teams and the structural resilience of the MD-11 played a crucial role in this outcome. The survivors faced harrowing conditions. Many escaped through emergency slides, navigating flames, debris, and heavy rain. Despite the challenges, the vast majority of passengers emerged with their lives intact. In the days that followed, investigators from the Hong Kong Civil Aviation Department launched an inquiry. Their goal: to understand how a routine landing turned into a near catastrophe. The investigation identified several contributing factors. Severe crosswinds, the typhoon's unpredictable gusts exceeded the aircraft's ability to maintain stability. Aircraft design: the MD-11's unique configuration, while efficient, made it particularly vulnerable during hard landings. Operational decisions: the choice to land in Hong Kong rather than divert to an alternate airport raised critical questions about risk assessment. The findings emphasize the importance of understanding weather dynamics and the limitations of aircraft under extreme conditions. It became clear that even the most advanced technology could not entirely counteract the forces of nature. The crash of Flight 642 marked a turning point for aviation safety. In its aftermath, several important changes were made. Pilots received better training to handle challenging crosswinds. Aircraft manufacturers improved designs to make planes more stable during landings. Stricter rules were introduced for flying in bad weather, prioritizing safety over keeping schedules. Flight 642 is remembered not only as a tragedy, but also as a testament to resilience. It underscores the vital role of preparedness, innovation, and the human spirit in overcoming adversity. Today, air travel is safer than ever, thanks in part to the lessons learned from incidents like this. Each improvement, however small, represents a commitment to protecting the lives of those who take to the skies. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the story of China Airlines Flight 642. If you found this account insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into aviation history. Together, we can honor the past while looking forward to a safer future.